So this section in the course, building flavor, I would say is the most important section of the whole course. If you can nail this and this concept and these fundamentals, which is really simple, if you could really understand this, it's going to change your home cooking game forever. How would you like to be preparing food that's tasty all the time? When you balance food with these simple things, it just changes the game. Like, it's just amazing to think these little things can make food so much more flavorful. So in this section, we're going to talk about the ingredients to build flavor. These ingredients are super important, and if you incorporate them in every dish, balance-wise, it's going to be a game changer for your cooking. One of the most important lessons in this section is understanding how important salt is. So before that, I want you to go to the grocery store and grab yourself a vine ripe tomato and be ready. And then one lesson is just all about the importance of building flavor and what is incorporated in that. The salt, the fat, the acid, the heat, and how that plays a role in building flavor in your dishes. And then the last video is a demonstration on how to build flavor. And I want you guys to follow that and see how I incorporate all those things to build the flavor. And then you can go try it on your own with any favorite vegetable of yours. So let's just jump into building flavor. Okay, go ahead, grab yourself a warm cup of coffee or tea or whatever you like, and let's talk about building flavor. There was a book out there, I don't know who the writer is, but I've read it before, and it kind of maybe jump-started this. And then if you look into a lot of culinary things, like if you really get into like how to build flavor and how to make your food taste good, these are the fundamentals. Unfortunately, like a lot of the stuff you see online, like cooking channels or recipes or Food Network channels, they don't go into this. They don't give you these basic principles that if you nail these, like it changes everything for your food. I'm like, it totally changes everything. So, you know, the problem with those is you just follow a recipe and you don't understand if you're building it. Or if maybe you're missing one of these, and one of those missing components, if you're missing one of these, it stops the flavor. So one of the most important things when you're building flavor is heat. And what do I mean by heat? When you brown your food, that browning creates a Maillard reaction. And that Maillard reaction, it's called the Maillard reaction, that brings flavor to the food. That's why, like, when you toast a piece of bread and put butter on it, part of that is the texture that you like, that your body likes or your mind likes or whatever. But that browning of the bread brings out flavor. That's why, like, when you grill food, you get that grill flavor. It's that browning of the food. It's super important. Like when you brown ground beef, like here, some people don't consider, they just try to get it cooked through, all right? So they're cooking it in moisture. They don't think about the browning. If you brown your ground beef, it's a game changer for your food. So that's why browning food is super important. It's just one of the building blocks of building flavor. Now, when we're talking about building flavor, probably the most important, something that enhances the flavor is salt. Salting your food just changes everything. It enhances the flavor. If you got chicken, it makes it taste more chickeny. If you have a tomato, it makes it taste more like a tomato. If you made a recipe and you're like, I don't know, it doesn't pop, it doesn't anything, and you have bland food all the time, I'm telling you, more than likely it's salt. I know a lot of people get worried about salt and consuming it. I'll tell you, there's a lot of misconceptions in the food thing and health. Like, it's been really messed up. Like, what we learned and thought is not always true. If you're eating healthy, if you learn to be a home cook and you're cooking stuff and not eating processed foods and all that type of stuff, adding salt to your diet is not going to affect it. It's kind of like one of those things you actually need. So salt is super important, and you're going to see that in that little demonstration once you get your vine ripe tomato. I want you to try it. The next one I want to talk about to incorporate this balance in the recipe or whatever food you're eating is fats. Fats kind of give you like this kind of not an umami flavor, but like a richness to whatever it is. And there's all different ways to incorporate this. It could be fats, could be with cheeses. It could be with a good butter, a grass-fed butter. The oils you're cooking with can add fat to your food or your recipe. The meat that you're cooking, If you cook it, say a ribeye steak, the thing that gives that ribeye steak a ton of flavor is the fat on a ribeye. If you had a top sirloin steak, there's barely any fat, and that kind of eliminates the flavor from that steak. So fat brings flavor to whatever you're cooking. If it's chicken, chicken breast doesn't have much fat in it. But when you start getting into the darker meats of chicken, there is a little more fat in there. If you're cutting up a whole chicken and using chicken breast, that skin on the chicken, when you render it or cook it, it starts bringing out fats. That skin will bring out fat into your dish. So super important fats. You can get that with oils and butters and like we talked about. So now when we talk about richness and fats and all of that, we need something else to balance that, because it could be too, I don't know if the word's decadent, but it's just too much, right? So the thing that we got to add there is an acid. An acid in the dish kind of complement it all and balance it. And there's different ways to do that. If we're using just citrus. Citrus can be a great acid to add to a dish. Vinegars. Vinegars are another great way to add acid to a dish. So those are the things that you really want to start to focus on. And if you watch my YouTube channel, all the recipes, I'm trying to incorporate those all the time. If I'm cooking something, I say to myself, well, am I missing that? Like, do I have the fat? Do I have the acid? Do you have to have them in all the times for every food? No. But you'll start to find the best recipes incorporate all of those things. So let's go ahead and I'll jump into the ingredients and I'll describe all the ingredients for those and some thoughts and ideas of what you can use to help build those flavors and those ingredients that you need to build the flavor. And then we'll jump into a complete how-to of building flavor on a simple vegetable. So I wanted to do this little demonstration to show you the power of salt and how it enhances flavor. So I asked you guys to grab some vine ripe tomato or a tomato from the grocery store. I've already went ahead and washed this one. So what we're going to do is pull that stem off, and I just want you to cut this into quarters. Now if you don't like tomatoes, grab something else, like something that like a cucumber might work for this demonstration. You cut a tomato, you get that little section in the middle that you got to get out. You can eat it, but it's not the best. All right, so now get yourself 2 pieces of tomato, all right? Let's just do it with these. So you get the one with no salt, go ahead and eat it. What do you taste? Not much? A little bit of tomato? All right, now take the other one you have, and take some salt and get it a decent salt. Now take that one, let this settle for a minute. You could drink some water too if you need to really see the big difference. Now hit this with the salt. You should notice the difference of, wow, the second one tastes like tomato. And that's the example with salt. It just really enhances the flavor of whatever you're eating. Vegetables taste more like the vegetable. Chicken will taste more like chicken. If you got really bland chicken, more than likely it just doesn't have enough salt. So guys, try salting things. Get familiar with it. There'll be an occasion where you oversalt things, but you'll find a balance and you'll kind of get an idea of thickness of food, how you're preparing it, how you're cooking it, and how much salt you need. But everything is going to need salt for it to get some really good flavor.